Let's talk truth. I sit before you not as a politician, not as a pundit, not as someone trying to pick a side, but as someone deeply concerned about the state of our country and the direction we're heading. Because let's be honest, the road around us feels like it's spinning off its axis. You got red versus blue, left versus right, right versus wrong, and even that is up for debate these days. But beneath the surface of all the noise, the talking points, the outrage, and the algorithm, there's a deeper battle that's happening. It's not just red versus blue. It's noise versus wisdom, ego versus humility, blind loyalty versus true critical thinking. And in that battle, we're losing. Not because we don't have smart people, not because we don't have solutions, but because we've forgotten how to listen. We built a culture that rewards outrage, not insight, popularity, not purpose, clout, not clarity. And somewhere along the way, we've stopped listening to the people who are actually equipped to problem solve. Our engineers, our coders, the educators, the scientists, the community leaders, the quiet thinkers, the ones who spend more time understanding the issues than tweeting about it. These are the people with the gift to solve, and yet their voices are rarely heard. But why? Because they're not shouting? Because they're not playing the political game? Because they're not flashy or loud or willing to sell their soul for a soundbite? And meanwhile, those who do have platforms, the ones with millions of followers, media attention, influence, too many of them are more invested in the fight than the fix, dragging one side to score points for the other, weaponizing every issue, spinning every solution into a threat. Red attacks blue, blue attacks red, while the people, the actual people, are left stuck in the middle, frustrated, struggling, and forgotten. Pride comes before fall. And let me say it plainly. A divided country cannot and will not stand. So we say we want unity, we say we want progress, we say we want change, but the question is, are we truly open to hearing solutions? Truly open to listening to the people who think differently, to engage in ideas that don't fit into neat little partisan boxes? Or are we still addicted to the adrenaline of outrage, still stuck in the cycle of proving who's right instead of asking what's best? Because if anyone steps forward and says, I have an idea, I have a real tested practical solution to this problem, shouldn't our first response be, let's hear them out? Not what party are they from, not what's their angle, not do they agree with me on everything. We need to grow past that, and fast, because lives are our stakes, because communities are crumbling, because apathy is spreading, and because the clock is ticking. It's a new time, and it's time for something new, a new mindset, a new movement, one that isn't about being left or right, but about being right-minded. Let's stop chasing personalities and start chasing principles. Let's stop demanding loyalty and start demanding results. Let's stop amplifying chaos and start amplifying solutions. If we really care about the future of this country, we cannot keep silencing the very people who might just be able to help it. We must elevate the solvers. We must rebuild the bridge between platforms and problem solvers. And we must do it now. Not next year, not after the next election, now. This country was never built by people who just picked sides. It was built by people who stood in the middle, who saw both sides, and carved a new way forward. Let us be those people. Let the problems and let the solvers speak. Let the nation rise. So here we are today. I'm Coach B. Everyday people are my celebrities. From their mouth to our hearts. Why?
The reason, for me, the reason I wanted to start this podcast, because I was a kid that had a voice but didn't know how to use my voice. And so what I see today, I just see a lot of kids that don't have a voice. And I want them to have the opportunity to speak. You know, I have some personal relationships with some families. That's what started all this. I have some personal relationship with some families, kids that are hurting deeply. And so I'm gonna take it back. I'm gonna take it back further. What got me on this path when I began my journey to become a life coach. I completed that, and then I went to therapy for myself, and it opened my eyes to how damaged I was as a man. How things that I thought I was over from my childhood, how they affected me as an adult, even though I was a functioning adult, I just buried them. I didn't deal with them. I didn't have answers. And in return, it affected every relationship in my life. I didn't know how to receive love as an adult, as a 50, plus old man. I thought I knew how to give love, but I didn't know how to receive it. And I thought to myself, how many other kids of today are going through that? What can I create? Because I was going to do a podcast anyway. I started out many different ideas. And, I prayed on it. And this is the direction that I was guided into. I've always worked with kids, coached kids. Kids have always been my passion. How can I just can't tell them, go to therapy. Let me create a therapeutic environment for them. Let me create something that allows them to speak freely of their feeling. And not only that, let me create an environment where they can speak to the people that they love the most, but have hurt them the most. And that's their parents. Let me give them some power. And so that's what made me, that's how all this became. That's how all this came about, was me going to therapy and realizing that I wasn't over some of my childhood traumas. I just was able to function and be productive, but I wasn't over them. I wasn't mentally in the space that I needed to be the best version of myself, to become the best version of myself. And so from a mental standpoint, I want kids to be healed, man. I don't want them, I want them to create a space where they feel safe and voicing their opinions in a respectful manner. In a respectful manner. But I want them to know that it's okay to cry. As a grown man, in the last year and a half, I think I've cried more than I have in my whole 50 years. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't tears of sadness, it was tears of joy, of overcoming. And I want kids to create an environment where they can experience that. It's okay to be healed. It's okay to worry about your mental health. Things that are not discussed, no one is discussing. So I want them to know they had someone that was on their side, someone that is rooting for them, someone that they can come to, somewhere, some place that they can come to and feel safe, and be able to deal with express the things that they're dealing with mentally. For me, you know, I came from an environment that my mom is an amazing woman, the strongest woman I know, but she had her addictions also, and it affected our relationship. And I was 40 something before we really had a conversation. She allowed me to have that conversation with her, and I was able to tell her what hurt me, what I heard justifying or defending. She was able to hear me. And I want to create that same environment, that same space where kids are able to say, hey, Mom, Dad, when you did this or when you did that, I'm going to tell you how much that hurt me, how much that affected me. You know, why did you do that? What made you do that? And also give the parents a platform where they can express their choices and decisions at the time that they made that choice and decision at that time. Mm-hmm. And now we create an environment where they become comfortable having tough conversations. Every relationship thrives on tough conversations, regardless of the manner of the relationship. Tough conversations makes the relationship thrive. And I want to create that in a respectful manner to where kids and parents can have those conversations and grow on. So that's what made me go in this direction.
That's awesome.
And what do you think about? Go ahead.
No, you go ahead, Vigro.
I wanted to know what is your thoughts about UMYO and why UMYO?
It's geared toward the youth, for one. You know, it's geared toward the youth. And if you can create, you're creating something that's going to allow the youth in many facets to be the best version of themselves, to be around men and women that are productive citizens, but also that are strong men and women, and they stand on the principles that they believe in. They're leading by example. See, it's easy to, as I state, it's easy to create something where you monetize the most. This creates an opportunity. This is an NIL deal for the youth, man. This creates an opportunity for them to monetize on their talents, as well as being around people that are productive, or community driven, or family orientated. Now they have a village. So this is creating a village, and it's making the people that you are able to touch and see, they're replacing the idols. And there's nothing wrong with having sports idols, entertainers, different things of that nature, but they're not touchable. This creates an opportunity for you to have idols that you can touch, that you can reach, that you can call, that you can show up and be there with. So, man, I respect that from it, because it's kids, it's youth driven.
Mm-hmm. And it's like you said, this is someone that you could touch, someone that you have something in common with, you know. because
Mm-hmm.
so often they put all these celebrities and rappers and musicians that have, it's just an illusion of what is true. It's an illusion of what lifestyles are all about. But when you fall back and actually live in reality, you see, and that's the reason why a lot of these people and these kids end up becoming drug addicts, like fornicators, doing things so bad, because that's what they grew up to see. That's what they've grown up seeing and idolizing. And they
Mm-hmm.
tend to absorb all these characteristics and dysfunctional behavior that ends up manifesting itself. You see, it's funny. I remember you saying previously, like, oh, they see kids doing things wrong, and the adults are laughing, and or they're telling you leave my kid alone when you want to tell him to pull his pants up. You see, all these things are funny when the kid is like 4 or 5, 6, 7, 8 years old, and what happens? They tend to overlook these things. Oh, it's so funny. The kid looks hilarious. No, that's not funny. Now the kid, every time you trying to discipline him or correct him, everyone is like, he's just a baby. He's just a baby. Now the kid is 17 years old. He's just a baby. They keep saying that. The kid then turns 21. Oh, he's just a child. Like what? Back in my country, I was had to fetch water, go to the bushes. We don't even know what it was in the forest that time to go fetch the food for our goats and our lambs. And that was like when we were 12, 13. And these kids are getting older and still calling them babies. Now, oh, the kid robbed someone. It's not that funny now. The kids killed someone. It's not that funny now. Everyone is short-sighted and they can't see the true effect of what is going to manifest in the future on behalf of their
Yeah.
kids. It's not funny now. You see, you talk about these billionaires. These billionaires raise their kids right. They teach their kids how to walk in a room, own a room, walk with confidence, command vision in a room without even saying a word. And we're busy trying to put TikTok dances and Fortnite dances for our kids to emulate. I'm telling like these the billionaires, their kids don't eat all these McDonald's and Burger King and Wendy's. They're eating like grass-fed beef, things that from Central Market or something like that. And meanwhile, we're here joking around. Their kids are mastering the musical lyric vibrations of Beethoven and reading Shakespeare's. We're here reading, watching Nicki Minaj twerk with her pants off. You see, now when you get older, you wonder why you're still mentally and spiritually broke because you weren't investing in your kids. Oh, you don't have to work out. Oh, the workout is hard. Forget about it. Don't follow through. Don't persevere. Just quit. It's okay to quit, but they try to mask it with. You see, as you spoke about, Big Bro Bernard was talking about how the women are being fed lies and thinking they can own power that were not meant to even manage. They weren't able to handle that power. But you speak about these things and everyone is saying you're misogynistic. No, it's just common science. Scientists have proven that women cannot handle the capacity of power of that nature. Men were created to do so. But you see, what is happening right now is what's happening in my church. That's why I had to move churches. The wife of our pastor was not respecting the pastor because when she came from Africa, she wasn't earning much, and my pastor was the breadwinner. All of a sudden, she goes to school. My pastor funds her through school and everything. She's getting money now. Now that money get into her head now, just like the other African women that are coming from Africa. Now they don't have to listen. This thing about listening to the husband, that's just a fairy tale. They're making fake friends and foolish friends that are feeding them these lies, not knowing that the devil is brilliant. You can't fight the devil like that. You need God's power to fight the devil. And if you're trying to go against the devil hand on hand, like one on one, he beats you every time. He's several chess moves ahead of you, and you can't even see it. He's telling you these lies. Oh, you don't have to listen. You don't have to cook for him. You don't have to obey him. Why? Why would he do that? You're the breadwinner. Yes. Now you're denying your gender roles. And that's why this world was created for us to embrace our gender roles. And you're trying to do a man's job as a woman. I'm not saying as a woman you can't pursue greatness. My wife's a lawyer with a master's degree in Germany, one of the toughest courses and countries to study law in. She studies law. I'm not telling her not to study law. She studied law, but as a man, before I even got married to her, we had an agreement. This is how it's gonna be, and people are gonna be like, "Oh no, once you get married, she's gonna change everything." But I'm a man of faith. I don't do all the woke stuff. Genie and all these people, hand palm readers. I'm a man of faith, and I've seen things happen spiritually wise in my village. I'm talking about demons manifesting itself. People think it's a joke, it's some type of Shakespeare. This is not Shakespeare, these real things that happen in real life. You see a bird go behind the building, you go to see this bird, you see a woman walk out that behind the building, and that building No one stays there. These things happen, and people don't even comprehend these things. They keep thinking it's something. Oh, this is Wizard of Oz. This Harry Potter. These things are real things that actually happen, and you're here busy living in a fairy tale. That's why these tourists go to these third world countries, going to places they're not supposed to be. All of a sudden, the tourists, they can't even find a body. You see, you have to understand, people are not wise enough. They are just groomed and brainwashed to just live something that's not even realistic. You have people in America going to where, like, the South Africa, the Serengeti, where the buffaloes cross over, and they want to come out of the car to pet the. What are you doing? This is a wildebeest. It could stomp you. Now you're dead, and you're wondering why you're dead. Oh, my loved one was so loving. No, apparently it wasn't that loving to put himself at risk. But we people are just groomed to think very things that are contrary to my belief, and I don't understand that sometimes how, as grown people, we don't even see the wrong. It's the one thing solving an arithmetic equation for so long, doing it wrong, but at some point in your life, you should be like, man, you should come to a conclusion like, this arithmetic is not helping me. I'm going down the wrong path. But people are just they're good. It's easy to swim in lies when you've been swimming your whole life and not take accountability when you're hanging around the very people that are feeding their reinforcement of those lies. Everyone
I think
it's so easy.
I think that
Yes, sir.
Brother Gaines, yourself, Brother Kennedy, you guys are right on point. Everything that's said here is right on point. Like Brother Gaines, you know, my relationship was with my grandmother. So I learned about faith at an early age. The Bible says, train up a child in the way that they should go, and then when they get old, they'll never depart.
Amen.
Right now, we're dealing with an attention economy.
Huh?
And Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, they're winning the game, hands down. Because everybody wants attention. The kids want attention. Sometimes they cut up in class because they want attention. And of course, social media will pay them pennies on the dollar. Or some of them have to turn to the streets to keep food on the table, so they have to work out of a trap house. They're forced. The system is not broken. It's designed that way. There's not enough jobs for all of our youth that are needing work. Every year we get a graduation class from high schools all over this country. There's not a job for every one of them students. Just not. Matter of fact, technology is taking over more jobs and losing more. I walk into Walmart and all I see is robots taking my food, scanning my groceries. Don't get a hello or touch or hug. So this is going to go back to meeting the kids where they're at. Same game. Create similar social media apps and give the kids an opportunity to put some money in their pocket. Until you can pay these kids, you ain't doing nothing for them. Everybody has a podcast. Everybody has some music to play. You put some money in their pocket, you're going to get their attention. So that's what separates the men from the boys. Now that we have their attention, we can start fertilizing the ground from that 0 to 5 years of age. I've got grandmothers that are only 30 years old, 40-year-old grandmothers, right? So it goes back to spiritual food. Sometimes you got to doctor it up, put a little salt and pepper on it, put some special sauce on it, but it's biblical principles that we have to get back to. And that's why this platform and gentlemen like both important That's why I started Lieutenant's Academy. I realized that these youth have to get paid. We have to give them opportunity to put some. You put money in their pocket, then and make them learn classes that's going to make a difference in their life.
Mm-hmm.
Trigonometry ain't going to tell. Or not, you know, my mother a bad name. I got to learn. I have to learn life.
Brother Les is in the
Proud of-
I'm sorry, Brother Les. I gotta say this real quick. Brother Les is in the southern part of Dallas, where the Wi-Fi is not as you know.
I thought Brother Les he grew up in Nigeria. I thought he was in Nigeria, my village right now. All I was heard Hakuna Matata. I'm like, hold up, did he just say that from? He just steal that from Wakanda or Lion King? I'm like, hold up, brother Les, what's going on? I heard some hyena howl right now. What's going on, brother?
And to that point, it's designed. South Dallas is designed to be a Wi-Fi deficient.
Yes, you're right.
Yeah.
It's the most
Yeah.
It's not a coincidence.
No, you're right, brother Les. It's not a coincidence. It's designed. It's strategized. Like you order Uber Eats yesterday, it comes back December 25th. Like, hold up, I ordered the Uber Eats a month ago. What's going on? Brother Gates was like, I'm still waiting for my Uber from 1975. What's going on?
Right.
I'm here in South Dallas.
Yeah.
Like, but these are things that is strategized against our people. Like, again, I'm all for all people. We're all human race. I don't do all this only black. I do because in the eyes of God, we're all human. We all bleed the same. We all have the same amount of bones, teeth, and eventually we are connected. So I don't do that. But our people are. This is strategy. I'm talking about high level strategy, and we're playing Uno reverse, and these guys are playing chess checkmate with my bishop. You didn't even see this coming. These are things that they put in place. There's no reason, because I'm going to Highland Park to one of my close friends. He's older than me. He's like in his 50s. He told me to come watch his son at Highland Park. But I'm going to Highland Park. Out there, schools are. I'm like, where am I? I didn't even know America was like this. So I'm like in the turf is organized, everything's the kids, but it's like the level of the athleticism was so appalling to me, and I feel bad. I'm not trying to like. It's just to show how like the discrepancy of how like our kids, like we spoke about how gifted we are, and like at the same time they don't tell us our worth, because if you don't know your worth, why would someone reveal your worth to you? If someone feels like you're worth $1 billion and that person is worth $5, why would I lighten you to let you know how much you're worth? So it's like that's why our people are such a suppressed consciousness. We don't even know what our worth. Even if you were to tell them, literally tell them and show them scientifically, they'll still want to believe, because they've been programmed to think that certain type of way. So I'm looking at these places. I'm like, why aren't the kids in the impoverished neighborhoods, their schools just maintained? And everyone's gonna be like, well, these people earn more. Okay, but if you call us Americans and you say we are Americans, and if we say we're Africans, you're like, no, you're not Africans, you're Americans. We purchase the most. I'm talking about the most things when it comes to money and exchange. We buy more than any other race combined. And we benefit to this. Why this country is standing so high? Why is it when we bring up these things, everyone has an excuse to say? If you're like, oh, I'm your brother, you're my brother, color doesn't matter. I mean, you have to be really like excellently dumb to not see this. It is sad. Again, I'm not even taking accountability from our people, because we're still meant to be held accountable for our actions. But you have to be really not bright, as people, as I've seen it with so many friends in the past, not even see the pattern. And I don't even speak about these things to people because it's pretty much a waste of time. Sometimes you speak to your own family about how their health is being targeted by all these greasy foods, and show them their medical statistics, they still don't believe you. They're like, nah, you're just overthinking it. I'm in church telling people, the church I left, like, the way we're eating is not right. What we're feeding, the high levels of sugar we're feeding these kids is not right. It's gonna have a damage in the long run. Just because the kids and you're feeling good today doesn't mean you're not putting a limit on your body clock. And people keep thinking, oh no, we're adults, you don't tell us what to eat. My wife's a nurse. What does that have to do anything? That doesn't mean anything. Like, I don't care if I'm from Nigeria. Brother Les go to Nigeria and they hurt Brother Les, and he comes back and tell me that, hey, people attacked me. I won't go and say, oh, I'm Nigerian. No way my people did that. Like, that doesn't make any sense. So like, when you tell them these things, they're so vividly true, and you can actually see it, and people, it's scary to do things with people that you could show the truth and they still deny it. It's kind of scary because they have a distorted view of what is true or not. You literally,
but brother Kennedy.
Yes, sir.
So you have to understand, it's a box. So South Dallas is in a box.
Yes, sir.
So on every corner, you're gonna see the same thing.
Attention universities, HBCU, and educational institutions. Now is the perfect time to revolutionize the way we educate, inspire, and empower our students. We've partnered with professional athletes who are stepping off the field and into the classroom, not just to motivate, but to mentor. They're guiding students step by step, sharing real experiences from the world of sports and business, including the lessons learned from the paths they wish they never took. This isn't a theory, this is action. Students are gaining real-world experience by actively marketing a powerful new platform in their field of study, collaborating with sports teams, industry leaders, students, coaches, agencies, businesses, while still in school. And it doesn't stop there. We've created unlimited digital hubs where students in digital marketing, sports and entertainment, media, and business can start working right now. Each academic program involved shares in the earnings alongside their schools. It's more than just experience. It's a sustainable model for fundraising and growth. And when students start getting paid for their efforts, the buzz becomes unstoppable. We're building a movement, one that connects professional experience, digital innovation, and academic success, all in one place. This is the future. We're just doing it in the present. Join the movement. Empower your students today.